to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess first we'll start with the approval of the minutes. Did everybody receive a copy of the minutes from July 6th? Okay.
I'll move.
Okay, moved by Don,
I'll second.
second by Nancy. Any discussion? Corrections?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
One abstain.
Okay. Abstain, okay. Chris abstain?
Yep.
Yep, okay. How about guests? Do we need to get anybody to
Oh,
identify
wait a minute.
themselves? Jeanette is in.
Yeah.
That's it? Okay, at this point, Nancy, Debbie, just Jeanette Barrow. Okay, next we move on to public comment. Any public comment? Yes, Jeanette.
Okay? No, the doors were locked, so I was.
Sorry, Jeanette,
Jeanette,
we were having difficulty hearing you.
Can you start again?
Sure. So, I've had a couple calls about the community garden and the fact that a lot of critters are getting through the fence, you know, going underneath the fence. And if there was anything that could be done, because in the past, the critters have stayed. So I know that our fire thought last year was to sort of dig a little trench around the outside of the fence, reinforce that and fill it with sand with the thought that that would block animals coming in. And of course, there are folks within the garden who share within the community, so I think it'd be really great if some attention could be paid to that.
Okay, we'll get that taken care of. Do you have anything else?
The village got $10,000 from the Adirondack Foundation for the fire tower.
Wonderful.
That was great.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's-
$20,000 more to go.
There you go. That's okay.
How much?
Moving along, 20,000 more to go.
And that'll be before you start.
Yep. Okay. Is that it, Jeanette?
That's it for me, thanks.
Okay. Okay. So next, Randy had a conflict and he couldn't make tonight's meeting, so we don't really have a report for highway or buildings. I do have information about the clinic, but that will be later on in the meeting. It's on your agenda later down the road here. Old business. H2O Pure report. I have called him 3 times. He has not returned my call, so we have to table that once again. So we'll just move right on to number 2, old business, BST audit, and I'll turn that over to Nancy.
Okay, I spoke to Paul Getz today, and that's how you pronounce it, because we were debating on that. He is going to come in probably the first week in August to work on the audit, the independent audit, and he has a whole list of questions that he had sent to Betsy, and she sent them on to me, and we went through that list and answered or figured out who would have the answers for that. So when he comes in, we can get going and it won't take, hopefully it won't take too long. And that was it. He seems like a nice person to work with.
Okay, well, that'll be great once we get that done. Okay, next is the emergency operations tornado plan shelter. Chris, you have anything new?
Yeah,
Anything
I
to?
called the deacon that I spoke to about a month or more ago, and it turns out he forgot to bring it up to the board of deacons. So
Okay,
he feels terrible, so I don't think he'll forget it next time.
okay, good, okay.
And Don Purdy has not gotten back to me, so I can only assume that he feels it's not something he needs to be involved in. I don't know.
Okay,
So send him a couple of emails.
okay, so maybe by the next meeting we'll have an answer.
Mhm.
He just became a great grandfather within the last week, so.
Good for Don.
But I know they're getting ready to go on a month's vacation too, but the first email was well over a month ago, so I don't know.
No, they need a vacation, it's been a long time. Okay, so next, and I think everybody has a copy, Neil, I have a pile here of different things, just stuff we'll be looking through today. We have some corrected standard workday resolutions for elected and appointed officials. The county had found some errors, so we've redone them, so I'm asking for a motion that we can move into discussion.
I'll move.
Okay, Nancy first, Chris second, okay. So anybody have any questions, any concerns on this?
This is just, the county has punched this up? Is that-
Yes, as they were going through, they're really going through everything with a fine tooth comb to make sure that everything is right in line the way it should be. And these were some errors that they had found, and I believe your committee actually had discussed some of this.
Yes.
Bye, Rob.
So, okay, so, then I guess we'll just move on.
I need a motion to accept.
Okay, I'm just curious about the record of activities result.
Okay,
Do you have any idea what that is, or that's?
Beth Hunt is familiar with this program, so she went over it and handed it back to me, because it's something that I'm not, I
Yeah.
had done, and there was some mistakes that were done to us, so I really don't know.
Okay.
So I have the calendars that everybody did, and she worked off the calendars to put that in.
Gotcha.
okay,
So-
so she
Yeah.
corrected
Yeah.
what was on there.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Compared to the system.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, so I'm looking for a motion,
So moved.
second,
I'll second.
And
I
then,
thought we did that already.
Yeah,
I thought we did too.
we just flip-flopped.
so that's gonna go on my bulletin board, my shadow box for 30 days, and then it will get mailed into the retirement system,
Okay,
okay?
so all in, okay, Chris?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? Okay, next thing is the Speculator Volunteer Ambulance Corps Celebration Dedication Day, July 13th. It was a really nice day, they had a great turnout. Phil and Joyce were both there. Joyce was given 2 really nice bouquets of flowers, one from the town and one from the village. They received a plaque, a nice plaque from the town and the village. It was a good turnout by everybody. It was really a very nice day. They did a great job organizing it. Neil, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I thought it was done well.
Mhm.
I thought it was a little better.
Of course, yeah.
But, it was done obviously to recognize all that have served there. But singling out Phil and Joyce, of course. But it was very nice that the community could have something like that, even though, it was separation and it was outdoor and whatnot.
Yeah.
I thought it was done
Yeah.
with a lot of consideration.
Yeah, Phil had also sent an email to the town, to the board, thanking everybody for the kind words. And it was a very touching day for them, so they were very much appreciative for that. So that was a big, a nice, good thing. Okay, clinic upgrades. Okay, so we are waiting on 3 estimates on replacing the floors in the clinic. We've had Ruby and Query there, the Galleria floor covering from Johnstown, and Dave Amundin from Indian Lake. They've all been in, they've all measured, and we're just waiting for their estimates to come back, and we will move on from there.
Did you get to have any meaningful dialogue with Patrice?
I did. You want to go through that now?
Well,
Ken?
I don't know if it's somewhere else, but just on the fact that I'm happy to say that we're being proactive on this, that
Yeah,
and I call him our tenant, it's a partnership, but it's a tenant situation, and you hate to be the tenant who has to crab to the landlord. So I think it's good that we're recognizing things and seeing things for them. They're obviously very focused on COVID throughout the organization, and I was going to say to a lesser extent, but it isn't to a lesser extent, a very arduous process to pick a new leader, a new CEO. Reason I was pedaling to the metal to be here is because today was one of the last long meetings for me. Friday, there'll be some determinations made, and
Oh, okay.
but all great candidates, wonderful candidates. But it's really engrossed the senior leadership, because these last three candidates meet with just about over 2 days. Candidate 3 was today and then again tomorrow, 2 days grueling. And there's union things, and there's, you know, physical plan things, and all sorts of doctor things and recruitment. There's so much to it. And she's handles a lot in her department, Patrice, so I wondered how much time she'd give you, and particularly since we have things we'd like to see them do.
Yeah, I called her, I introduced myself, I explained to her why I was calling, to let her know of the upgrades that our intentions were to do these floors, but not till the fall, to kind of work around the girls' schedule, the flow in the building there. She seemed very pleased with that. And we talked about a few other things. I guess, just go ahead, I'll just go ahead through all of this. I had a couple of people contact me about the entrance at the Nathan Latour Clinic. Concerns of people having to walk off the sidewalk onto uneven ground, under the window, when it's raining, they're getting wet, there's stones, it's very uncomfortable for any kind of senior that has any kind of issues walking, or anybody for that matter.
Right.
So I mentioned it to Patrice that I had met with Carla, and Carla and I had talked, and what we've agreed upon, which I think we're all very comfortable with, is the doors will be locked. The town ordered a doorbell intercom, wireless. That should be in Thursday. So there'll be one in the office for the girls, one on the outside of the building. The girls will have their table with their thermometer and everything in between in the vestibule there. So when they come out, they can go ahead and check temperature, and then they can allow people in the building. It seems like it's an obvious thing. You know, when winter comes with the snow and the ice, and this is just dangerous.
It wasn't appropriate to begin with. I'm sure it was a cob job solution when, you know, we went months where you went up to the door, and I never waited more than 10 seconds. I'd be fumbling with my phone to call them and say, I want to come in and get my drug. And they'd see, and they come out and they give you the temp. It's just obviously the numbers for summer, and like most people, I guess, the folks who come to visit us are no different. Nobody reads anything, so they had all those sandwich signs and some people are still banging and this and that, so I guess it was a good thing for a day or two to make an accommodation. You couldn't possibly, as you said, everyone here could probably go across those rocks, but it got to be rained on.
Yeah.
And as you say, it has no long-term legs at all.
Yeah.
Carla did have a couple of concerns. We went back in and we talked to the girls, and the girls, both in the office, agreed that they thought it was a good plan, it was a safer plan. It would be easier for everyone. The girls would have to do a little more running to go to the front, to open the door and take care of everybody. But it definitely, it's safer. There's a roof over there,
You
out
can't
there.
take
No one-
pedestrians off of paved sidewalk.
No,
Put them
no,
across grass, and then
Yeah.
what really is, that gravel is there just for draining.
absolutely.
It's,
Carla said she
I
didn't.
wouldn't mind continuing to do it, as long as they offered this to the infirmed,
Yeah.
I don't mind, I waved to them, the window's open, and now with this whole ventilation thing, damn good idea, the window's open.
Yeah, she did say that there were concerns, because they did have a man in there earlier in the season when this was going on, and he wouldn't leave. They told him he had to leave and he wouldn't leave. And I just said, Carla, all you have to do is call the sheriff's department and they'll have a deputy down here right away. But they felt they handled it in their own calm way and everything worked out fine. But I did assure her that the sheriff's department is there and is very aware, and they would be there to help.
So somebody wouldn't wear a mask, or?
She didn't go into detail as to what the issue was, but he was asked to leave and he wouldn't leave, a bigger man, and he refused to leave the building. And I guess finally Carla talked him down and out, and it
Well,
worked out
over-
fine.
Over the years, there's been, there's always some misunderstandings in primary care places. Primary care, for the most part, are doctor's offices, right, that run off of as much as they can, off of appointments, et cetera. Folks see it as a free clinic or as a acute care place, or this is where I can run in and get stitches. And kind of won't take no for an answer. Sometimes they say, no, we don't do that. And then I guess the COVID thing was bad in the beginning because they just assumed I could just walk in here and get a test, and of course they didn't have testing or
Right.
reagents or anything else there, so. You know, it's an outpost.
Something, oh,
Go ahead.
something else that's good with the intercom is if it's a prescription, people are coming, the girls can just, they can say it's a prescription.
Save one trip.
And, right,
Right.
and they can just grab it and
True.
come on out. I don't know about the signing and, I don't even know
They're
if
pretty
they,
lax.
yeah, I was gonna say, are they doing the signing?
They take your cash, at
Yes.
least mine, but I realized, I was probably there 2 or 3 times before I realized, shit, I used to have to sign for
You're
this.
right, you don't have to anymore.
I did. She had me sign yesterday.
Huh.
Because they don't suspect it ends.
Well, yeah, I mean, where you gonna sign on this little, this little.
Yeah, they
tiny
have that little
windowsill?
electronic
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, at
Yeah.
the window.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Well, now once we get back, I think
Yeah.
everything will get back to normal. So
Right.
let's just hope the intercom is supposed to be here Thursday. So if it is, let's hope that we have this rectified by Friday. So Monday, we're ready to start a fresh week and back to normal.
Probably not.
Yeah.
The intercom probably won't be until UPS in the afternoon, and the guys don't work on Fridays.
Right. Well, it's wireless. It actually just Velcros on the side of the building.
Right. You don't know.
If I can do it, I'll do it, sure. Okay, next, everybody got a copy from Bob Bankovich, our code enforcement department has, it's actually pretty interesting how busy it is this year compared to 2019. I don't know if anybody has had a
Yeah.
chance to take a peek,
Well, it had enough there.
but it sure has had an uptick.
Yeah, he's making his money now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you, he's running. He's
Yeah.
very, between the village and the town, he's busy all the time. He's in and out.
So,
I guess I'm looking for a motion to accept Bob's report.
so,
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, we did the Nathan Latour. So our next meeting, is there any other new business that anybody has that they'd like to mention?
You had the Adirondack landfill
Yes,
services contract?
see, that's because I skipped and went to Nathan
Yeah.
Latour. Thank you, Nance. The Adirondack landfill services contract, I did look it over. I'm looking for a motion for discussion on it. Anybody want to make a motion? Second?
I'll second.
Okay. The only change in the contract is that we will now only be testing once a year and not twice a year. Everything else is exactly the same, so I'm just asking for your approval to go ahead and sign it and get it back to them.
I'm fine.
Everybody okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
aye.
All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed?
We went a few years where we already been keeping an eye on it, really. All the other partners, you know, when I came on, Frank had all these people that were involved, and then it was kind of left just to us. And then when the guy came, it seemed so benign that, you know, we let it go for a year or two before we even looked at it again, so, I mean, once a year is adequate.
Yeah.
We bill all the partners for their share of
Of
the
what-
cost.
Of what his cost is.
Right.
But in fact, it's not gone plastic, it's been pretty benign there.
Okay, does anybody have any other new business? No one? Okay, so then I will move on to, our next meeting will be Monday, August 3rd. I'm looking for anybody for committee reports. No committee reports?
Just to move backwards for a second, I don't have a committee report, but we're just assuming until otherwise heard, they're here, our meetings.
Yes, our meetings are here.
And will the Albany or the Emperor, or someone will tell us when we can have.
The public in, yes. That's why we kind of thought, after talking to Jeanette, let's just open up for public comment, at least it's a
Right.
start of trying to get back to
I
some
think
kind
it
of
was
normalcy.
August something is the next.
Yeah.
That, I read that, you know, a long time ago, but we've had
Oh, who
several
knows?
phases since then.
As long as he doesn't make another edict.
Right.
Right, and then he said that he might be closing restaurants again, I read.
Yeah, well, that's all back in the mix.
Oh, goodness, yes, there is someone waiting.
Okay, so I guess next is a motion to pay the bills. Has everybody had a chance to look at them?
Jeff?
So moved.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so let's go with roundtable. You want to start it, Neil?
Sure, thank you for reaching out to Randy. Somehow I was, missed a memo somewhere about the beginnings of the conversation that ended up being about filters and air conditioning and so on. And then hearing, oh, they don't know what we have, and Patrice assuring somebody, and then, oh, no, they don't know what they have. And then Don, of course, has serviced them
Yes.
a number of times, so, and I knew just what he was talking about. But Randy, on vacation, was nice enough to reach out to me, I think by your request, just to catch me up to whatever I missed in the beginning conversation there. For now, as long as everyone doesn't pass out, I guess this is a solution, but, I mean, turning off air, when we have air and it's summer, I'm wondering what the group's feelings is about, you know, what sort of.
Well, I was down there again today, and I was very surprised and it was a nice surprise. It wasn't stifling hot in there at all. They had a couple little fans, and they were very comfortable. They had the windows open, and they said it really wasn't as bad as they expected it to be. I did, going back and forth and talking with Patrice, she had said that, that it was, the health, New York State Health Department approved systems in all of the clinics. So she didn't see an issue with it.
That's true, when we built there, no
Right.
question that was the case.
Right,
The last guidance from the DOH on air conditioning for primary care centers, health clinics, etc., is dated 2010. So it's long before COVID.
Long before.
And we can put in filters that will filter out down to 1 micron.
Right.
well, the
3M
company,
sort of filter.
we did have an issue in the clinic. I had asked Malcolm to go down last week and shut the system down, and he discovered a leak in the basement, so we had, do you remember the name of the company, Deb?
BHF.
RMB out of Schenectady came up, and they were working on it, so Carla went down and talked to him, and then Carla called me, and they have been doing all the malls in Albany with these new HIPAA filters.
Yeah.
Yes, so he said that they could get him, he called his boss, and what I just found out this morning when I went in, because I just kind of felt like I didn't know what way to go, should we be turning it back on, what should we be doing? So I went in the back to talk to Malcolm and Eddie, and Andy, they all got into it with me. We only are using regular little filters that they go to Stevenson's and buy, they're not the correct filters. Then Kevin came in, and Kevin said, oh, no, I was there last week. The guy measured them, he called his boss and ordered them, and they're supposed to be in like a week. So I did call the company, they did not call me back today, and I kept calling, but I kept getting the same answering machine, so I didn't leave more messages. But it's worth it just to get the correct filters on the system and be done with it.
Sure,
So
for
that's-
year round. I mean,
Absolutely.
In a hot air system,
Yes,
you'll remember, we had an issue there where Veronica felt that the system was in some way spreading more germs than it was filtering out. And we had, high-priced consultants come in and send cameras up and down through the manifold and up through the ducts. So in a hot air system, whether it's heat or air, it seems silly that we don't go with the high efficiency particulate, the HEPA type thing. But I really was more concerned for COVID, if they're cool with having windows open and fresh air, that's great. Because you know how the Department of Health is almost insane now about people eating outside as a means of stemming the tide. I was more concerned about here,
Yeah.
in here being uncomfortable.
I don't know if do these windows even open?
Well, they bought these huge vans.
These, all these little louver type ones, and they've got the fans. Again, as I say, I don't, shame to say I don't go to the library much, but if either the staff or the library patrons want it to be cool, it'd be nice since we have it, figure out how to.
Well, I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to touch base with them tomorrow to be assured that they have ordered them and when they're coming in.
I'm glad, that's really all I was saying, is it'd be good if we had a plan that.
Yeah.
Are we doing anything with the system here?
I don't know that they've looked at this system. I have to wait to ask Randy that. Actually, maybe the guys, maybe I could go in the back and ask the guys tomorrow, maybe they would know.
They could go up and look at it.
Yeah.
It's very accessible.
Yeah,
So
Because-
it's a much newer system than is in primary
right,
care.
right.
This place used to have a big old nasty oil burner and everything else, but
Yeah.
it's.
Now everything's upstairs.
Yeah.
Jim did, I mean, we poured over those,
Yeah,
plans for months and months. I would think that if you get the right size, you just switch out from what is the Stevenson version to the 3M, as you said, was it 1 micron?
so we're on the right track with that. Let's just hope that they get a move on that quickly and we can get things back up and running to normal.
I was on the phone today with Sherry for a while, and I did hear a fan running in the background, but she never mentioned an issue with it being too hot, and I'm sure she would have if she was uncomfortable.
I guess that's what I was fishing for.
Yeah, so, I didn't ask.
Yeah,
But,
Roxy could have said,
she didn't say
Research.
anything just now, so.
thank you.
okay, Don, anything for roundtable?
No, except that, with the community gardens, I am not gonna be around much this week, so I won't be able to check on it until Saturday afternoon, maybe.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Excuse me for being late, but when I came in, Jeanette was, I think, speaking, was that critters were burrowing under and into the greenhouse, is it that? Or the patches, the parcels?
I think it's the parcel.
She said the fences, so I'm gathering it's
Yes,
parcels.
so burrowing under?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're everywhere this year.
If
Yeah.
I get back
Holes
this
and
way, I may take a run over just to see,
okay,
you know, but
okay,
I can't promise anything.
Chip and Dale.
okay. Thank you, Don. Chris, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
No. Okay, Nancy?
No, nothing for me.
Debbie?
Nope. What about your decal?
Decals is still a disaster situation that's going on. Actually, Walmart's not even selling them either, nobody's selling. And so I found out from a kid that I worked with last night, he got Mary Ellen up and running Stefano down in Wells. So I said to him last night, what are you doing tomorrow morning? He goes, well, I can be at Drops at 8 a.m. So I met with him this morning, 8 a.m., he got me up and running, but then I was shut down again. So, and Mary Ellen said the same thing happened to her, so. I put another call in today, I got a human, and they guaranteed me they would call me back at the end of the day. Not.
No.
Mm.
But you can go online
There's only human.
and apply through the
I
state.
know,
I
I know.
hope they're not writing tickets.
no, they're not,
No, I don't think
they're
not.
not.
Boy, yeah, that'll be
And kinda-
an automatic get out of jail
Yeah,
card.
they know,
Yeah.
they know what's going on,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, couple things, tax cap for 2021 has now been set at 1.56. Just thought I would mention that. And another thing is Camp Fowler. Erica Mahoney, Bill Farber, and myself met with Kent Bushman and Harv to discuss operations. They're looking for a fall plan. Erica was very helpful. We toured the facilities. They took us in a lot of their rentals where some of the buildings, they actually have like 20 people can stay in them, some 12. they're doing a very good job on their own. Erica had some suggestions for them and was sending them some paperwork, and she's gonna be working with them, so hopefully they can get them up and running at a bigger capacity by the fall. So, that was a big plus. And then we also have the 2019 fourth quarter chamber report. I gave everybody a copy, just that everybody has that to read through.
You have extras of those? I don't think I have that.
You didn't get that? Sorry, Nina.
Oh, take it back.
You got it?
I thought it was something additional.
Oh, okay, no. Okay, so that's all I have. So I guess I'm looking for,
That's why,
You know, they've got this title wrong. It's not the 2019 fourth quarter, it's the 2020 second quarter.
right, that's why I
That's
thought.
why we were confused.
I wouldn't go to, yeah,
But it looks like there were other mistakes on it too, if you looked it over.
I
mean,
did.
Facebook followers have gone down from over 8,000 to 869. That doesn't sound right.
No, well, it doesn't sound good, I hope it's wrong.
I hope so.
But it's headed as 2019 fourth quarter to the town of Lake Pleasant, but I wasn't sure.
probably use the same form and
I'll
just
Probably
forgot to
did.
change that, because they have the dates correct underneath.
They're preparing for the
But
parade.
that's
Yeah.
one of the, that's one of the
2022 quarter.
items that
It should be.
you'd like to see continually going up, right, is that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And I know Donna's particularly good at it, so that's surprising. I just one comment on the 1.56, because I hadn't heard they established that yet.
that's low.
It's low, and I think, you know, very attainable for us in the upcoming budget season. It's gonna be much harder, which we're a strange animal here in the county, in that most times cities, villages, towns share in county collections of sales tax, and none of the towns nor village do here. They keep it at county, by the agreement of the Board of Supervisors, to ameliorate county costs of things. If that 156 is across the board, which it usually is, right, then it's not just set for us, that could be set for everybody to hit. I just heard sales tax numbers came in from several counties to our south today, I heard it on the radio on the way up here, and 25, 26, 27% down for most of those counties for the quarter. And they're expecting, of course, for the remaining 2 quarters in the year to go through that way. For the county, it'd be very surprising to me if they could stay on this and not raise county taxes, which, you know, I said it's because you have a hand, of course, in that side of it. We'll live within 1.56, but it's gonna be hard for, I haven't heard our county's numbers, but I'm sure they're gonna be low.
We meet this week.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll hear.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second.
Okay.
Boy, he's fast.
Okay,
You know,
back to his campfire.
I think I've mentioned this before, but in the Lions Club, for the 25 plus years that I've been around,
Sorry,
a motion to
Steve, you
adjourn
were
is called,
ahead.
running.